It's happened! The rumours were true. Valve has announced a new standalone VR headset called the Steam Frame. I'm reading through a lot of your guys' thoughts and comments, and I'm hearing a lot about how the spec is disappointing. It's barely better than my Quest 3, which is 2 years old, yada yada yada. Guys, it's not about the hardware. Although there are some interesting things in the hardware I want to get into, the hype is really about another game-focused company investing in VR. Let's get into it. The Steam Frame is a standalone device running SteamOS that will play your VR and non-VR Steam library from the device itself, or streaming the games from your presumably more powerful PC. Naturally, a hardware announcement is going to come with comparisons to what's already there on the market. For us gamers, that's the Quest or PSVR 2. This is so not about the hardware though. I'm not going to get into the specs, as that's been covered. It's no secret that PlayStation have not supported their headset as well as we all would have hoped, and Meta's focus has definitely shifted away from VR games and more into social experiences and augmented reality. Props where props are due, those two companies have been fighting the good fight, giving us all the brilliant games we know and love. Last Christmas was incredible for VR gamers, with games like Batman, Metro, Alien and Behemoth. So this isn't a knock on those companies and the incredible work they've done for us today. Mainly this announcement of the Steam Frame gave me hope that the flame of VR gaming, the most immersive way to play, hasn't been snuffed out just yet without a fight. And make no mistake, this will be the place to play incredible and immersive VR games upon launch, unless Meta pivot back or Sony just up their game, which I just can't see happening. So what about the parts of the hardware I find most interesting? Well, there's only two really. The black and white pass-through and the built-in eye tracking. The first standalone VR device to have this feature. So black and white pass-through is interesting. It's bold. It's a clear message that Valve don't care about mixed reality experiences. And you know what? Personally, I've yet to play an AR experience that adds anything over a VR one. I've been pretty vocal about that on my channel. I don't know why I'd want to play Star Wars Pod Racer in my messy office with the restricted draw distances over an actual pod racing game where I sit in a real pod racer. That's of course a dig at the new Star Wars pod racing game that came out on the Quest recently. Not great. Valve sends a clear message. Let's get back to VR gaming. So eye tracking, why is this important? Well, Valve are boasting a unique technology where when streaming the games from a PC, the game will stream the image that you're not directly looking at a lower bit rate, meaning your system isn't getting clogged up and more bandwidth is allocated to parts of the image that you're actually caring about where your eyes are seeing. Now, as more of a standalone VR player rather than a PC one, this exact same technology can be implemented when actually rendering scenes rather than streaming from a PC. It's a fantastic way for getting more optimization out of our less powerful headsets. In some Quest games, you may notice the center of the screen is sharp, but the edges of the screen are pixelated. You can see it in Ghosts of Tabor, for instance. That's an intentional rendering technique called foveated rendering, and it's used to take a bit of heat off the rendering demands for these mobile chipsets. You can one-up that technique with eye tracking, and rather than just make the center of the screen higher resolution, you can actually make where your eyeball is looking at higher resolution. You get the benefits of the foveated rendering, but it will be impossible to call out which parts are pixelated. So that's called specifically eye-tracked foveated rendering. You can see the technology working brilliantly in some PSVR 2 games like Horizon Call of the Mountain and Resident Evil Village. Now that's really exciting because although the specs of the standalone device may look similar-ish to what we already have, if used well, techniques like these will mean our games on Steam Frame are still going to look better. Alright, just a quick one, I thought I'd jump in and give my 2 cents. Don't forget guys, this is early days. Just because they haven't announced any games yet doesn't mean nothing's coming. I'll definitely be covering all things Steam Frame, and I'm hoping for a Half-Life Alyx remake or even Half-Life 3. Thanks for watching, my name's Dan as always, see ya!